allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay.
She
off your mic.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa.
Martinelli,
Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Mitotu,
Yọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò.
Maiyegun,
Maiyegun Diary.
and every one of you.
Bó bá ṣe.
Top of the moment to you.
Maiyegun Diary.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, because it is going to be another interesting night. Share this.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
To everyone who recently joined Maiyegun's Diary Politico, and they have been asking questions. When do we normally start Maiyegun's Diary Politico? Everyone, what time do we start Maiyegun's Diary Politico?
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
How do you know that Maiyegun is going to be live soon without being told? How do you normally guess and get to know that Maiyegun is going to go live?
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
These are the frequently asked questions by supposedly newbies, those who joined us recently. Read the comment. Maiyegun's Diary Politico, every day, every night, start from 8 p.m. Because of the time difference that we have right now, 8 p.m. UK time is 9 p.m. Nigeria time. Now set your time. How do you know that Maiyegun is going to be live soon? When you go on to Maiyegun's Diary Politico on YouTube, there will be an upcoming video. You will see it there. It will show what is coming up next. Very easy. And if you don't see this sign, 7:45 p.m., when you check your time and it is 7:45 p.m., that means Maiyegun is not going live that evening. Very easy. And to the newbies as well, I would like to remind you, this platform is not a platform that is a fear to the criminals running and ruining Nigeria. Just so you have it on your mind. Motide. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun live. And as you are joining, I implore you to please read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well, because right in that description is the detailed sort of summary of what we will be talking about tonight. And if we have enough time, of course, you too can pick up the phone and call in. Do you get that now? So, if you have done that already, share the broadcast. Your offering is to like the broadcast because it usually gets so interesting in the comment section, okay? So that is why you do all these things as you are joining, so that you don't get completely lost in the comment section where people are engaging themselves. It is a different world there. These are just few things to remind you of before we kind of get down, okay? So as I was saying, Maiyegun's Diary Politico is not an unbiased platform. Maiyegun's Diary Politico can be called citizens journalism, citizens platform. And Maiyegun's Diary Politico exists to set the record straight from the propaganda of those who are ruining Nigeria and their collaborators. So which simply means this platform is not a platform where you are going to hear anything good about APC. That is number one. This platform is not where you are going to see scared people who are afraid of talking about the pastorpreneurs in Nigeria, the religious criminals in Nigeria. This is not the platform. Just in case if you joined us recently and we start sounding like condescending, disrespectful, what other things have they, started sounding like, crude to you. Be very, very clear with us. When we are talking about the ruiners of Nigeria, the criminals from every part of Nigeria, share you get now, we have no respect for them. And whatever language we use, number one, we are responsible for everything we say. I am responsible for whatever I say. Okay? I am responsible for that. I'm old enough to understand that. Now, when we are now directing our messages, the choice of language, the choice of words that we decided to use, we know those we are directing them at. If you take offense, so if you join this platform and you are looking for unbiased reports, I don't even understand what that means. When the rogues and the criminals who are ruining Nigeria and you are a living witness, okay, and they are living in their own different world, patting themselves on the back, telling themselves well done, giving themselves different titles, and the country they are ruining, the victims are everywhere, including you that is watching me. So our choice of language is directed at these people. But if you suddenly come here, begin to look for and talk about I know what I'm saying, you know. If you don't understand Yoruba, ask somebody in the comment section to tell you the because we know how much they spend on propaganda. We know how much they spend to feed crumbs to these humbled slaves, sophisticated morons, the social media bandits, Facebook ads men. We know how much they kind of invest in them to deceive you. You are the ones who knows where the shoe pinches. And in their world, they want you to think that you are the one who have a problem, that the economy is not that bad, that the corruption is not that bad, that the terrorism is not that bad. You are the one who is overreacting. The hunger is not that much. They want you to believe that, so that you'll be the one to start thinking, am I the one overreacting? Hello, Maiyegun. Am I the one who, I don't understand this country. No, nothing is wrong with you. They spend a lot to plant those doubts in you. A lot of you believe today that your economic woes, the poverty you are battling with from generation to generation, they could have been generational causes. There are those of you who are currently closer to God, not because you really care about God and religion that much, but you have been told the reasons why no one has been so successful in your family, the reason why poverty seems to be a sort of a relay race in your family. As one generation is dropping the baton, is dropping it to the next, that one is dropping to the next, is because you need to break a generational curse. There is no generational curse anywhere. The only generational curse is this generational foolishness that you should break that chain of empowering your criminal leaders. You are praying everywhere for breakthrough Friday. I have just been told that the desperation of Nigerians these days has made them more prayerful. Why are they praying? Because they want to get out of poverty that these rogues dipped them into, and they would dip their children, their children's children, and on and on and on and on like that. So this platform is a platform to help you understand and process what is going on around you, the role you are playing in it. You begin to process them. When you begin to process them with the available information and happenings that have never failed me in seeing evidence to prove to you, that Nigeria is going nowhere, and you are playing a role in it as well. So if you come to MaiyegunsDiary Politico, you may call me a libertarian. I read that somewhere and somehow aligns, with some of the things I kind of believe in. I am somebody who believes in live and let live. I am somebody who believes in choice, independence of choice. And once these are taken off, you will find me on the side of those ready to battle for it, because it is like taking your life. As somebody like me, if you believe that one Nigeria that is different from the current fraud, the fake one, is what you believe in, even if I don't, I will respect it. If you are somebody who says, oh, you would rather have a breakup of Nigeria to different countries, I will believe and I will support you. Well, that's where I stand anyway. Sure you get. Then if you are somebody who says you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, or you have no religion, I will still respect your choice, as long as you can live with them. But also the problem is, the moment you want to force, that's your idea. And force means when they say you either take it, or you forget it. You have no choice. It's been made for you. That would be a problem. And that is where Nigeria pushed all of us. And that is why on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, you will still see everybody here. Somehow, they agree on most things, except for some sundry few. Yes, you can find that here. So you can call this platform the congregation of those who have one stone or two to grind with Nigeria. Therefore, you would never find any favorable lie in favor of the ruiners of Nigeria. I hope that is clearer enough, so that you don't begin to lose your mind unnecessarily, you and your device. You don't begin to get mad unnecessarily, simply because we are talking about those whose business have always been ruining the lives of millions that they don't give a damn about. Is that also clearer enough? Right. Like I said, what you are going to get on MaiyegunsDiary Politico is the truth. People usually ask, what is the solution? But what we have discovered is that majority of those who are asking for what is solution, what is the solution, they are either those, number one, they are not really interested in any solution, okay? Because one, they are either those who have enabled the criminals one way or the other to gain this type of oppressive power they are using on everybody today. But they don't want to completely come out and say they condemn it. They want them gone, because they don't. So they'll be asking you, what is the solution? They don't need your solution. They just wanted to sound like, just stop talking. There's nothing you can do about it. But there is a lot that can be done. And there are those who are going to push us there. And that is why this platform, MaiyegunsDiary Politico, is to help those who are looking for answers to the question of what is the problem with Nigeria? Who are those behind the problems? And what is the way out? You see, these three questions, you will find answers to them on MaiyegunsDiary Politico every night. Every night. But here is the problem. It is not everybody that is ready to accept the answer to the last question. What is the way out? Let us peacefully break up Nigeria. It starts from renegotiating the union. We are not those who came together peacefully to consent to this union. So you will start from there. Renegotiation of the union. From renegotiation of the union, those who want to go, then give them the gateway and the process to do so. That is the solution. But not be everybody won't accept them. On MaiyegunsDiary Politico, you will, it's not only that you will know, that everybody knows about Nigeria problem. Even a child knows little about Nigeria problem. Everybody knows. Everybody can tell you. We are all experts in telling you Nigeria problems. Do you understand that now? We know the Nigeria problems. But understanding the problems, and the people behind the problem, you will see those who are your Christians member, Muslims. They are Christians, they are Muslims. They are babalawos, mamalawos, and all of those things they do. They are those in charge. You will see Yorubas, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, Ijo, and Ishekiri, and the rest of. You will see every one of them playing their part in that problem. From your local government to the federal, you know that. So you will begin to understand. So my kinsman is also part. It's true. I used to think that it is the Fulanis. Oh, I used to think that it is the Igbos. Oh, I used to think that the Yorubas are the problem. Actually, my people are also part of. Once you understand the two, the next is going to be, okay, what should we do now? Break it up. But the breaking it up there that we are talking about is the peaceful one where the citizens are educated enough to understand the contraption they are forced us into with no option. That contraption will continue to produce criminals. Okay? Till eternity. There is no election that can change that. You can only compete in an election that there is actually a competition. There is no competition in Nigeria system. And if you know a guy called Chidi Odikalu is a lawyer, and he's been an advocate for the prosecution of corrupt judges in Nigeria and how corruption in the judiciary has further emboldened the criminal politicians in Nigeria to continue, okay, to rape and rip the people off of that legitimacy. Because you see that sovereignty to say, okay, we want to choose this person, or we are not choosing, you know what I mean? It's yours. And if they don't, if that, as crooked as their electoral system is in Nigeria, sure you get, the criminal politicians, they could sit down and just write election results and just do it. But they needed that little validation from you. They wanted you, sure you get, to still come out and say you participated, so that you can give validation to everything else they will do. If that sovereignty is not valuable, despite the fact that they have the power to write results, they will not be paying you 20,000, 10,000, 500 naira, 1,000 naira for you to come. It's not because they value whatever you are doing. They could write it, but they still needed few to make it look like an election. Then the judiciary that could have nipped this in the bud, they opened the floodgates. They discovered that they have power. No be you talk say Any electoral matter, once it gets to the Supreme Court, it is final. Why the rest of you were reacting to the headlines? Supreme Court has ruled. Supreme Court has, hey, good, hey, bad, hey, good for democracy and all that nonsense. They were permutating on how to put all of you in this pangolo. And the pangolo is that whatever you think you might have experienced in 2023, you are better advised not to get yourself involved in any of the elections again. Because the next one, it's going to be suicidal. Let's put it that way. Now, Chidi gave us a background. Let's listen to this, where he was, sort of explaining how these rogues hijacked the judiciary, and the judiciary hijacked the people's power to choose their leaders. The judiciary can say certain elections are cancelled in order to declare somebody winner. The moment they realized that power, politicians started pumping their family members, their girlfriends, their wives into the judiciary to become judges here and there. Listen to this. I'll come back to it.
Seems to me that citizens need to be interested in this stuff. And you see, the problem always was the tendency to reduce this to a party political issue, which it wasn't. Look, this matter didn't start today. When the judgment in Amaechi's case came down in December 2007, the Supreme Court gave its reasons in January 2008, but the judgment came down in December 2007, saying that someone who was never on the ballot had been elected governor of Rivers State. PDP was exultant. But that judgment is actually why we are where we are today. It was the beginning, close to the beginning of our problems. Because, yes, there needed to be a remedy to the madness that was going on then. But whether that remedy had to be putting someone on the seat who had never been on the ballot to begin with was a different matter. The Supreme Court could easily have decided in that case, okay, we will nullify the elections. We will recognize Amaechi as the candidate of the PDP, but we will send this back to the people to decide. Was that not possible? Of course it was. But they chose not to do that. And therefore expropriated to judges a decision that only citizens should make in a democracy, deciding who rules them and deciding on whom to confer the mandate. And what did the Supreme Court say in that case? Candidates don't make a difference. Parties do. Candidates don't run in Nigerian elections. Parties do, which really was untrue. And I know for a fact that a lot of judges at very senior levels then had nothing to do with politics, but a lot of judges were very unsettled by that judgment. But it came from the Supreme Court, and therefore they had to comply with it. That set us off on the route to where we are today. Now, by the time you had done with the corrections of PDP overreach when it was in power, what you then were left with was judges had grabbed the rights of the citizens and decided it was too sweet to let go, because candidates were discovering that you didn't need to know anybody. You didn't. Senator Ibeke in Anambra North went to the National Assembly 3 times. He never won any election. Alphonse Ibeke was never interested in winning an election. What he did was, after the elections, he would go and buy judges, quite literally. 3 times Ibeke went to the National Assembly over 12 years without a vote in his favor. Anyone who is from Anambra State here knows Alphonse Igboehe's story. But he's not the only person. Why? Because judges now decide our elections. And so once politicians realized this, they started planting their wives and their daughters and their mistresses. I mean, I could go on here about whose mistress is which in which place. And obviously the wives we know. But it is the mistresses that are very interesting. And who is sleeping with whom, and, genitally transporting people whom they are related with into the judicial system. Because you need your own judges there to have these decisions take place. And then we get to 2019, right? We're in Zamfara State. So, because this is not, I want to make it clear, this is not APC. I'm not interested in APC, PDP, Yabu. It is that the ground rules have been totally altered. And that means you cannot take away, you cannot beat an incumbent because they will outmoney you. When the Supreme Court decided that you could have the idea of wasted votes, guys, and you see, people sit down and we laugh over these things. How can you waste the votes of citizens in a democracy? That is the biggest problem we have now, that judges are wasting the votes of citizens. In Zamfara State, Matawale lost every local government area in Zamfara State. He didn't win half. And judges actually sat down and thought it was a very nice idea that because of a pre-election matter, you could waste the votes of an entire state. That was another evolution in this process. And so the doctrine of wasted votes came in, and now judges are wasting the votes of people. Kano is a scandal. Kano is an absolute scandal. And you don't have to be a supporter of any party to recognize that Kano is a ridiculous scandal. It is. And now, look at the map of what is happening, guys, so that you understand. Every one of us needs to understand that the judiciary has become a national security threat. And I'm not going to mince words about it. The control is Imo State. Imo State, look at how Imo State descended from January 2020 to where we are now. So that, choose what you choose to believe about last week's elections. In most of Imo West, Olu senatorial zone, in most of the local governments, there were no elections. INEC knows for a fact that it could not safely deploy election workers to most of the local governments in Imo State. Certainly not in Olu, not in much of Okigwe local government area. So voting mostly took place in and around Owerri, and then they wrote results for the remainder of the state. Why? Because judges did what they should not have done. Now, Plateau State, where they are writing up new results with judgments, has been in trouble for a long time, certainly since 2001. And if you followed it well, since 1994. Zamfara State is one of the most intense killing grounds in Nigeria. Kano State, nobody should mess around with. In 3 major theaters of security and security crisis in Nigeria, judges have decided to become thieves. And anyone who cares about the country should be worried. Military commanders who have soldiers fighting on these frontiers, on these theaters, should be worried. You know why? We've got 3 divisions equivalent, tied down in the Northeast. We've had that for 10 years. We've got 2 divisions equivalent, tied down in the Northwest. We've got the 3rd division of the Nigerian Army in Jos. 6 divisions out of 8, all held down by crisis in these states, in these territories. Zamfara in Northwest. Kano in Northwest, particularly essentially at the frontier between Northwest and Northeast, because if you get to Wudil, turn left, you're going to the Northeast. Jos, Plateau in the North Central. And judges are messing with the future and the very existence of the country. And all of us are sitting down, and particularly the opposition politicians, thinking this is going to end well. This is ugly, guys. And I'm not even going to pretend about it. This is very ugly. It is very existential. And those who don't understand the ramifications should please wake up. Let me yield here.
That's Chidi there. And there is nothing much for me to add, though. Here you get. But I'm going to just pick few points from what he raised. And I'm going to sort of expand them for you to go and think about. We have been told before that the APC, Egbekegbe, that brought terrorism to Nigeria, they have overstretched the Nigeria military on different frontiers, like he said. That these criminal politicians who continue to loot and impoverish their people, whenever the wahala breaks out, number one, Nigeria cannot survive another civil war. If a revolution breaks out from any part of Nigeria, genuinely, if it is more than 5 states in Nigeria, the entire government will collapse. They will not have enough of their soldiers to talk about to even defend or break any revolution in Nigeria. Of course, you see, data is a very powerful tool. When some data begin to make their ways into the public, and the public begin to get to understand some certain things, and they begin to take advantage of them, while these guys who are not putting a brake on their own profligacies, they are thievery. And a lot of you are saying they will kill us, they will do this or that. The moment you begin to have the true information of the damages these guys have done, and how weak they are, and now why they are spending so much on propaganda to discourage you, no matter how much they dress their policemen and the rest of them. If a real revolution breaks out, I'm not talking about 2-3 states now, or one state on their own pasture. I'm talking about the real one, and it's very close by. It is going to happen soon. So people will now realize that Nigeria, that others believe that it is a miracle that Nigeria is still existing. They believe that the citizens don't know what is going on. They have no idea. If they should, these guys will be gone before noon tomorrow. But they are not breaking down, as he said. They are enjoying it. They are enjoying the type of a cash and carry, warlike democracy, the demonstration of grace. Even those who claim to be opposition, it is just a dog-eat-dog situation, because they are only waiting for their own time too, or turn by turn Nigeria Limited. When you make people poorer than they should, they will rebel. Because, like Shiwore said, and many people have also said, including myself, what is happening in Nigeria today due to the criminality of these rogues, the consequences of it, the hardship, and every complaint you are hearing here and there, they are affecting everyone. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, northerner or southerner, it doesn't matter. Everyone is affected. So if they should continue, which I believe they will, or they are on the road to anyway, because they believe that they have psychologically conquered you. Even if you really feel like you should go and fight and push back and demand for something better and shake them and all of that, you are worried, you are scared because they can kill you. And they will continue to leverage on that. The moment they realize that your temper is getting to this stage, they will begin to threaten your parents. That is that. But you see, because they are going to continue on this destructive path and trajectory, they are going to push you there, even if you no one go there. That is what I'm trying to get you to know. The other day we were talking about the wastage, especially the plutocracy going on in Lagos. And I told you, I said I was using Lagos just to give you the insight into what will be going on in other places. 36 states in Nigeria where they have turned their people's resources and money into their own personal use. All they have to do is go through procurement and just award whatever they can award for themselves, their girlfriends, their concubines, their family members, and all that. And even if they actually do the job, it will be like, okay, fine, they are just taking advantage. Abi, majority of the money were taken and they were never done. I was checking something on earlier. I'm going to tell you about it. And it was, they said that between 2022, last year, and this year, I think if you remember, when I was talking about Ade Shokwe, Ade Folure, that former deputy governor of Lagos, former senior special advisor to Boko Haram on Millennium Development Goal, SDG. You remember that I said that she awarded the contract for the construction of a classrooms in Lagos to an Abuja restaurant. Yes, Abuja restaurant, right, was awarded the contract of a 182 million naira. 374,000 naira and 103 naira. That is 182 million, 374,000, 103 naira and 44 kobo. They awarded it to this restaurant. They have nothing to do with engineering, or they are not like an engineering company or construction company, a restaurant. Now we've discovered that that one are just the one where you find out there are more. She was also awarded. She was awarded 37.9 million to construct 3 blocks of classrooms in somewhere in Niger State. That same restaurant in Abuja. And from Ade Fulure, Ade Fulure, deputy governor to Fashola then. You remember her? She, from that same office to that same restaurant in Abuja, she awarded 147 million naira. That is one for the Lagos, rather. Yeah, for Lagos. 147 million, 127,000 naira contracts to that restaurant to build classroom in Lagos. The other one, which is 182 million, is not for Lagos. That one is to build 100 bed mother and child maternity something hospital somewhere in Niger State as well. Edo State. They awarded the contract to a restaurant in Abuja to build 100 bed hospital, mother and child hospital in Edo State. All this money, gone as we speak. 100 bed that could have served the communities and the people of Edo State, wherever they put that. Imagine. That never happened. The money is gone. So then we're talking about Lagos, where they awarded contract for perfume be liquid fragrance. Liquid fragrance for the office of the governor, 7.4 million naira. That was in Lagos. Sanwo-Iku. His deputy came out today and said, no, it was just 2 million naira. Excuse me. It was just a 2 million naira that was awarded to his office for rechargeable lantern, rechargeable fan, ABBA. This is a document in DL. But you know what I mean? 2 million naira from 2 billion. That's fine. 2 billion naira was awarded and paid to a company to supply rechargeable fans, rechargeable fridge to the office of Sanwo-Iku. And then his deputy, 880 million naira for fuel dump, or the fueling of the governor's car. This is not the old government, governor's office, governor's cars. 880 million naira. 440 million naira to buy a bulletproof car for the chief of staff to the governor. 531 million naira to renovate an Anglican church in Lagos. 531 million naira. 60 million naira every month to the office of the wife of the deputy governor so that she can do charity and also fuel her car. What else is there again? Omo Ilekun. Funshodo Hati, who was a guest on Arise TV, Arise News, the person who actually opened the curtains on all of this, he was invited to Arise, and the credit for this video indeed goes to the Arise News. I want you to see it is even more.
On views, so it went viral over the weekend. Everyone's been talking about it. Now, this isn't the first time that you are writing to Lagos State. So, why do you think this caught fire the way it did?
So it's interesting, and it's not always easy to understand what resonates with folks. But I think I would highlight in this case maybe three things. I would say first is that it touched a raw nerve, right? So people are in a very difficult place economically. They are being asked to make all sorts of sacrifices that maybe they have not had to make before. And they're daily being enjoined to, bear with the current circumstances and that things will get better and so on. So it seems jarring when they are faced with, things that look like evidence of non-judicious use of expenditure by the leaders. I think the second thing is that, it is very specific, because this is information. Generally we talk about, non-judicious use of funds, and it's like a general thing. But here people are presented with very specific information about specific, contract awards and things that they can relate to and they can touch. They are relatable. So it's interesting that, some of the things that have generated the most comment are not even the numbers that are sort of in the big billions, but just numbers that when you look at the amount, it may just be a few million, but when you look at it in relation to the item, people can easily relate and say, this
like the 7 million for diffusers, fragrances.
Yeah. So what can we say? And then finally, I think people they get involved, right? So some people have gotten in there, gone to the website and tried to get more information themselves, and even come up with things that are not part of what we did, because we focused on just the second quarter and the third quarter, and people have gone and looked more broadly and identified, for example, that the state paid for legal expenses for the governor in supporting in defending a political case and so on and so forth. So things that we didn't touch on have sort of come out in the discourse. So I think that engagement is also feeding some of this.
What do you make? I mean, as you mentioned, there's a procurement website where everyone can see this. These are basic things, but Dr. Abati was saying on the morning show this morning that since some of these things are basic but they're not done, there's a window to commend the states. Budget ranked Lagos 14th as far as fiscal transparency is concerned. Lagos didn't make the top 10. What do you make of that? Is that a basic thing that you should not be commending a state for putting this information on your website?
Look, I would say, maybe yes and no, right? And why do I say that? Yes, you can say, well, maybe not all states are doing it, and Lagos is doing it, and therefore you might commend them. But let's not forget that this is in pursuance of or pursuant to a law, actually, the Public Procurement Agency law. And that law actually requires that significant government contracts be published, right? So in effect, government is complying with its own law. So should we commend the government for being law-abiding? Maybe. But what does that say about our expectations of government? You and I are expected to be law-abiding. The people don't come and commend us for being law-abiding every day, right? So in that sense, I think part of the issue is that we have come to have very low expectations, right? And things that are our rights, we are seeing them as privileges. And in that sense, we as, the governed are contributing to the problem.
Look, there's too much of this to go through. I just wanted to get some of your thoughts because you dug up so much. The consultancy fees, for instance, like I think it's AEC is one of the companies you mentioned. There are a lot of other consultancy fees there to the tune of billions. The bulletproof Lexus for 470 million, the governor's BMW motorcycle convoys, 14 of them, 36 million, a swimming pool for the deputy governor in his residence for 10 million. What would you want to hear from the Lagos state government as far as, because I know your notes specifically said more transparency, more details, some of them should be, as we see all these figures, what do you want to hear from the state? Because we've extended an invitation for them to respond. Yeah.
All right. So, I think for me, and it's not just about me, I think, they need to explain to the people, when you see the comments, it's not as if we manufactured any information or what, this is just basic data that we put out. And when you look at the reaction of the people, any responsible government will know that it has touched a nerve and needs to respond to the people. And where there's need for explanation, where there's need for justification. But more importantly, I think a couple of things. One is that there should be improvements and it should be a continuous improvement exercise anyway, but there should be improvements in the procurement process. One of the points which I made, and you alluded to the fact that I had written on procurement before. I wrote on that pursuant to a letter which I had written at the time of the mass burial.
Yes.
And I said that in that letter that was leaked revealed certain things about the procurement process. And I wrote a follow-up letter to say that the procurement agency gets an admin fee on each of the procurements, and that was a conflict of interest and would affect their independence and their objectivity. I think there's some evidence.
So it is a looting bazaar. Here you get an avenue, okay, to siphon money. All those projects, all those money paid for, apart from the fact that they are overinflated, majority of them are never going to be supplied. They didn't pay them to supply because it's going to book for them. They're going to put them in the budget again so that they can pay again, and they will pay again. All they need to do is just to change the figure, change some few description and all that, and they will get the money again. But like I said, this was just a Lagos. From people's findings and from our findings here and there, we discovered that even in Benue, where they have a reverend father, what do you call your governor? Alia, Reverend Alia. He himself, has been taking good care of himself in the last 3 months alone. Just for cars, renewed cars, even rebuying the ones they have bought. He has spent over 5 billion naira on cars, just cars. Currently, he just spent 2 billion naira to get himself some kind of new latest bulletproof cars. In August, the the same aim was said to have approved 3.2 billion to buy cars, vehicles for the service of the government. Like, okay, we are buying cars for the Ministry of Agriculture. We are 3.2 billion buying cars. And in September, the same aim also approved 1.3 billion naira for the supply of Oma Jeep vehicles for the to the government of Benue State. Over 5 billion on cars. And many other things. So, in Abia State, where Alex Otti is, he himself has been taking care of himself too. In the space of 3 months, running the government. It is called running the government. They has been, in 3 months, they said they've spent 233 million naira on food. I saw some of the guys who are trying to do the math. They said, but that is not so much now. At least with the number of staff that are working inside the Abia State governor, at least they are up to 5,000. So if you divide the money by 3,535 a day, at least it still makes sense. You see how? That is Alex Otti. 780 million naira on cars. No, never enter billion for cars. The cars he is going to drive, the cars that they need to change in the convoy of the governor and the rest of them. Nearly 800 million naira. Ondo State, where Akeredolu has been missing for the past 8 months. For those who are following Ondo State stuff, right? The last 8 months, Akeredolu has been in and out of hospital from Germany to Ibadan. Since he came back to Nigeria, he's been in Ibadan. He hasn't even visited Ondo State in the last 2 months or so, since he came back from Germany. The same Akeredolu has also, they will check his own book too. Guess what they found? 7.8 billion naira on contingencies, governors' contingencies, which means now Ondo people, they pay the euro conversion. As the naira is collapsing, destroying, Ondo people and their allocation and their taxes, they are bundling them together. In a space of 3 months, Akeredolu spent 7.8 billion naira on contingencies. Contingencies. That is some personal stuff to quickly take care of. This is how they do. In Oyo State, where Solo Makinde is their, Sheyi Makinde. I don't know why I always say Solo Makinde, I don't know, it doesn't matter. So, Oyo State, where Solo Makinde is their own this thing, they were digging into their own book too. That is where they said they were buying the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher, they want to buy 35 fire extinguisher. That's a pano red pano this thing, about 800,000 naira. But they want to buy 35 of them for 800,000. They say, how much they buy them for market? They say, Nigeria don't bad, but me say they sell one for how much? For 45,000 naira. People are questioning here and there. Everyone is now digging everywhere to understand the consequences of what the judiciary has done to Nigeria. These are people that have told you repeatedly, even if they are stealing and looting, there's nothing you can do. You cannot defeat an incumbent. You cannot, they will stay, and the judiciary will keep them. Together, I hear the other part of Dohati's statement on Lagos State. Watch this.
I expect the government to do. is to make the right decisions, judicious use of public funds, always in the public interest, and to govern in the interest of the people. And in the long run, the fruits of those actions will be revealed in the lives of the people.
I want to ask about cost of living in Lagos State. If you look at the latest inflation figures, it's above the nation, right? I was talking about this with someone, and the pushback I got was, well, it's the commercial capital. If you look at New York or London or Accra, well, what's your? Should we expect that cost of living should be this high, or can it be brought down?
Well, I mean, so that the cost of living is higher in a capital city or a financial center than the rest of a nation is not an unusual circumstance. And, you know, if we had a situation where, for example, cost of living in Lagos was marginally higher than cost of living in Ibadan, for example, but the average person could have a reasonable standard of living, I don't think anybody would be complaining.
Okay.
Right? I think the issue is that because of the actions and inactions and the outcome of governance over the years, we are in a situation today where people's standards of living, rather than going up, are actually declining. And even when you measure over an extended period, as long as a generation, which is 30 years, many people will tell you that they are much worse off today than they were 30 years ago. That we may have taller buildings, we may have a few bridges that we didn't have or whatever, but that people's quality of life, standard of living, right, the things that they can afford comfortably, the healthcare, the education, that those are materially worse than what they could enjoy 30 years ago. And I think that this is the problem that people have. So it's not so much the relative cost. Yes, the cost of living in Lagos will be higher. But I will also make the point that what it does is to raise the bar for whoever is governing a city like Lagos. You have to realize that to whom much is given, much is expected. And that Lagos being a commercial capital, being a nerve center, generating trade, income, and taxes almost on its own steam, brings with it a responsibility of government to manage those things well. Because if government manages those things well, then these additional costs, the effects of it on the average person can be ameliorated. If they have decent means of public transportation across the state, if they have healthcare systems that are reasonable, that they can access, educational systems that they don't have to pay an arm and a leg to get in the private sector, these are the things that a responsible, effective, high-performing government in a city like Lagos delivers for its citizens. So that even as the cost of living is higher here, because it's an inclusive society, people's capacity to sustain themselves and their families are also higher, and therefore they can live good standards of living.
What you've been commenting.
Thank you, Charade Doherty. In order to buttress what is said, when you look at the humbled slaves in Nigeria, especially these Buhari idiots, the Bat idiots, the poverty glorifiers, they will tell you that the living, the life in abroad is very expensive than the poor life in Nigeria, according to them. Forgetting the fact that what that Doherty just mentioned there is how a society is run and then governed. There are things that when you tax people, when you take their money, there are things expected from you that will later give them succor in the long run, so that they can still lead a normal standard life without having being impoverished from your taxation and all that. Let's put it this way. When somebody in Nigeria asks that those who are living abroad pays so much taxes, bills. That is why majority of them are doing 2-3 jobs and all of that, as they will say easily. People are paying taxes in Nigeria too. Yes, a lot of people are paying taxes in Nigeria. Maybe not as much as they should. But you hear taxes. People are paying taxes too in Nigeria. So you that is watching me, that you are paying taxes, they are taking it from you every now and then. Let's say you have job or you have business and they are taking taxes from you. I can tell you where my taxes goes. I can point at where my own taxes goes and what my taxes does for me. Can you tell me where your own taxes go? You watching me from Nigeria right now. Can you wholeheartedly tell me where your own taxes goes? Let me tell you mine. Because I pay taxes and I live here, my children, they will go to school from KG, kindergarten level, to university level, free of charge. I won't have to pay. And when you say go to school free of charge, we are talking about with everything they need. Do you understand what I mean? I don't have to buy any education, whatever, what have you, before my child can go to that school. When my child gets of age and is about to go to college or university, there are already provision for him. There are provision for her too, to help and aid her and support her, not only from me, but from the system that is taking my taxes. I can drive on a smooth road. I can walk in the middle of the night anytime. I don't have to fear anybody kidnapping me. I feel safe because my taxes pay those who are protecting me not to extort me or threaten me with guns. That's what my taxes does. If any member of my family should need any medical care, no matter how expensive it is, no matter how sort of, the health condition might be, even if it's going to be for life, because I pay my taxes and other people pay their own taxes too, my family won't have to go poor, go broke, or sell our properties simply because one of us just have one sickness or ailment. Those are where my taxes goes. If I run into any financial difficulty, there is a welfare system that can actually take care of me temporarily before I get back on my track. Yes, that is also there. Now, all of these are infrastructures put in place because people like me, I am paying that taxes that you believe is why a lot of us are doing 2-3 jobs. Despite all of that taxes that we are paying, including the black taxes that we are paying, a lot of us still come back to that Nigeria with tens and hundreds of millions of money to invest in different sectors of the same Nigeria. But now let's come to you. Number one, you are paying all those taxes. Yes, they are taking them. Lagos State, they are making you believe that Lagos State is rich because it has so much money it's generating. You don't show the success of a people or an economy based on the money you are taxing from people. That's not how you do. You rate your own economy based on the standard of living that you have been able to provide for them. Clean water. I can open my tap right now and get a very clean, chill water from my tap. That's a public tap. Do you understand? Provided by my tax. A lot of you can't do that. I don't care how rich you think you might be. You would have to dig your own borehole. Abinobi, so some of you have boreholes. You know they drink the water. You can't drink the water. But you are paying taxes for them. So where is that taxes going? Let's not even talk about electricity, because I mean, even here, that electricity is not free. The amount I pay for my electricity is pretty much like what some people are going to get paid for working for 4 months in Nigeria or 5 months in Nigeria on your minimum wage. That is what I pay for my electricity, but it is there. The economy that they have created for me here will make me able to pay all of this, and I can still pack money to come and buy massive estates in Nigeria, massive land, or to come and become a shifter title holder, or to come and marry another beautiful this or, you know what I mean? I could do anything when I still come to that Nigeria, despite all of those things that you are talking, but you are paying all those taxes. You are. You have no idea where the money is going, but you still have to provide your own electricity, provide your own water, provide your own housing, provide your own security, provide your own schooling, provide your own health care. You are a mini local government yourself, for those who have been able to provide all those for themselves. Mini local government. Now, despite the fact that you are paying all those taxes to them and they are denying you, how many of you can pack the remaining of your money and come and buy a house in London? Or go to America, pack the rest of that your money, and go to America and go and buy a house. So you see the reason why that comparison is not really that kind of making any sense, and I had to use it to tell you that the life you have there and the life people like us have here, they could have been the same only if you and others like you believe that they deserve such, instead of defending the ones that if I ask you, where is your tax? Your tax is being used to buy perfume. They are using your taxes to buy themselves cars. They are using your taxes to buy themselves everything they could buy. And you are everywhere begging for money to pay for hospital bills. Do you know the saddest part thing is that some people, they have jobs. They do have job. Yeah, they have work they are doing. But what they are paying them, they are not different from people who are begging for a living. Because they still end up having to solicit around for extra. Please help me, please help me. And they will appear like they are lazy. But you all know where that is coming from. They agreed. Because of their greed, they devalued your currency. Now, despite that devaluation, their greed won't let them stop and use those resources, invest them in people-oriented projects, investment that actually are you, not people who are giving you donation, handing you money like Bambi Allah. No. Create a space whereby when you pay those taxes, you will feel the succor, you will feel the safety net that it should be for you, even if you are living in Lagos or you are living in Ibadan or you're living in anywhere. Your taxes are being siphoned, stolen. And some of you are actually like laughing, you know. I mean, some of the Lagos Sabobakus, they were praising that guy. No, it's just figure of speech now. We go to Nidia Omojare. Sure you get. I'm just using that. Somebody said, would your wife allow you to have another wife? I'm an Ijebu man. Sure you get. Personally, I don't want to anymore. But I will be doing nothing wrong if the women agree to be with me. But it's not my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you do know me very well anyway, so it's not even a discussion. I just had to use that to say what I could do with my little change that is left from whatever this country is taking from me, including the black taxes and all of them. Despite all of that, oh, I can still get some money together, still go to Nigeria and still be like, you know what I mean? It's like somebody who said it costs, I mean, they paid, I think they said they paid 40,000. Princess, how much fuel did you say you buy that day for 40,000? About much? And it was like half tank of your car, the full tank, I don't know. Here you get. For somebody in Nigeria, even people will get money, when they spend like 50,000 naira, for example, to fuel their car because of what it is now, they come back to say, oh, more, how person go to do that almost every week? Here you get. Because 50,000 naira, looking here. But I fuel my own car with at least 60 pounds almost every 2 weeks. I don't go out too much, but let's say 2 weeks, kind of. So if I call Niger, and my 60 pounds with my car, it's going to give me about how much? 80,000 naira. So that means I can fuel my car 40,000 without blinking. I can be driving around, driving about, because that's how it is from where I'm coming from, Abi. The economy of where I am coming from can still make me enter Nigeria anytime, even if I know be a rich person, and I'll still appear and still live a sort of a comfortable, very, very comfortable time without complaining about anything. But you, that you are also paying your taxes, you are working like everyone else. They have already cheated you. The same work that you are doing, is the same work somebody else is doing somewhere else. They get paid. When they hold their own money and you hold your own money, you look at the value, you put them side by side, you will know what these criminals have done to your economy. They've already cheated you. Here you get. Out of that thing that whatever is now left that they gave to you, they are still going to tax you. Tax this, tax that, tax that. And you're never going to get anything back. Nothing back. So, because the money is there in their different bank accounts from different bogus, what have you. No be so. I even have a short one for all of you now where they say, after all of the taxation abroad, after all of the work, we were talking about black tax 2 nights ago. And some of my wonderful brethren here, they came to share their own experiences. And good, bad, everyone shared their ideas. Among them are those who probably said they were deceived into putting their money on properties in Nigeria that never, you know what I mean? But there are those who have been very lucky. They wanted their loved ones want them to have something in Nigeria, and they did, they followed their advice. Build house here, build land here, and say, okay, yeah, I've done that for my family. Nice places, so. Only for you to wake up one morning with the demolition video. This is you just probably waking up from the last night shift. You are getting yourself ready for the day. And boom, brother, they are pulling down all your houses, so they did not give us any warning, no compensation, no. They have demolished your house, so. Hey! Which house? But we have the CEO. We have this, I said CEO, CFO. We have the CFO. We have all these documents. They know they look documents, so as we are watching this, they have destroyed everything. That's what Nigeria does. You don't just wake up one morning, and start building house anywhere you like. It doesn't happen that way. That's why you have government, but because it's a lawless place. The government working with the fraudsters, the criminals. Even when they are not, even when everything looks legit, because of politics, they may wake up one morning and say, this your area, we're supposed to build pipeline there. We have been here for about 15, 20 years. How did you suddenly wake up and said you wanted to build pipeline? Well, you can go to court. The judiciary that should be the last hope, Abi, you know you will never see anything. Last, you won't go to court. They have already started demolishing your house. The court won't tell them to compensate you because you know many. States no get money. All your investment, everything. That day, you will look around and be like, where should we run to? Who should we talk to? We have documents. You need to see how many people who have actually died and those who are suffering from depression, hypertension, and different kind of ailments because of what I'm just telling you right now. They are abroad. 20 years, 30 years. Personally, one of the things that gives them sort of peace of mind. You know what they call the inner peace. Despite what they have seen and then faced in their journey to wherever they are, is that they have succeeded in building their own house. Here you get that beautiful retirement home. Imagine. They called you. Hey, we have a land at Okwoba. What is that area called again? Not Okwoba. This one is a move word of it. May I go check? Abuleado. And there you are. So how much is the land? It is about 4 million. Oh. But if we quickly buy it now, if we quickly do something on it, I say, okay, 4 million. All right, I'll send 10 million. So do all the papers, do all of that. You got the land, you started building the house. Before you know it, they've sent you the picture. Good family, amazing people who are doing that for you. And there you are. Some of you have even gone back there to visit your homes and all that. And then the news, they have started destroying. They are going to destroy, apart from all the houses they have destroyed in Lagos so far, in Abule Ado alone, they still have another 650 to destroy. Why are you destroying these beautiful, well-structured areas? There are no real infrastructure to roads and all that in these places, but they look like posh areas. Those hard-working Igbo men and women. Hi. I feel like you're just taking a big breath in and out. You see, those people who are actually are part of those who make up the same economy of that Lagos state, so to say. Those who are working harder at Ladipo, what do you call it? What's that one? Hey, that Masa one. What's it called again? Anyway, Alaba, and all those areas. All of them are where they everywhere. They also do that. You get small money, or you get big money. This time around, you don't want to be paying landlord anymore. There you are. All your investment. Let me get my own house and all of that. And this is where I live. This is where I pay my tax and the rest. And then politics came. And then they say you are just collateral damage, even though you are actually their real target. Because the big thing is that, where is that government when these properties were being developed years ago? These were not properties developed months ago. These were existing area. Some said maybe somebody is interested in the place and then the government would just have to use everybody as scapegoat. Who are you going to report to? The same government that is demolishing your houses, Abi? Nigeria is worse than a jungle. We still don't have a definition for it. Take a look at this.
Sorry. Over my head,
Okay, they don't be threatening and for down there. As we the past and they don't be threatening and so now so they carry what. Yes, sir, because you say my money is nobody swear. The other one don't
Lagos adịkwa n'egwu now. All these houses now have been marked for demolition. All these houses one by one I'm marking here for demolition. Ụlọ niile na-afụ dị n'ogologo ụzọ I'm marking here for demolition. Na ebido na nke a and ọ bụrụ taa ka ha bidoro ya. I swear Igbo na-anọ Igbo.
And according to them, they still have 650 houses to destroy. And that's a place, that's a state that is suffering from a shortage of houses, by the way. They have a shortage of housing. I've been a housing shortages, you call it. Eh? Well, a lot of people knows that the demolition is not because of any planned development or violation of any of their land law. So if you want to go and prove it to them that you have all the papers right before you're present there, they will invalidate those papers and tell you they are not valid anymore. At least they gave you the documents, they gave you the papers. So now it is no longer valid. And they will show you that, oh, we send you a letter to let you know that your documents are no longer valid a year ago. Did you not see it? We have a copy here. No, I didn't see any letter. How would I see a letter and I will not come to you? Well, we have a copy here. See, it's in your file here. How could you have a file for me that nobody actually got to me? I mean, what you gave me this story. You know, before you come back from Alausa, now your family member could call you from the house that, Papa, the house is gone. And that is why, even if you want to go to court, the court is not going to tell them to go and pay you, to go and build you a house again. Now, them own the court. The court will tell you that it's one judgment. It is the state government says you violated this or that. You violated something until those houses were like that. And nobody from any of those government agents came there. Abba. When you look at those houses, they have government numbers on them. You know those house numbers? The ones that they will be like LSG / SK / BA1 / 00123. You know those kind of numbers. They have them on those buildings. Though. But after elections, they became illegal. But I want you to know something. For how cold-hearted and calculative these criminals are, especially this Tifnubu and gang, is that when they are dealing with those they considered as their enemy, even those that are supposed to be their blood, they will also deal with them too. They have no friends that disagrees with them. If once you are not in that same bracket with them, Baba, you are an enemy. Whatever you see, take them like that. They will come for you. Because of the Igbos in Lagos State, they decided to make laws that says your children will not be admitted into schools. If you are not paying tax, you have to show your tax this. In an economy that is, should not be informal economy. where most of their taxes are taken indirectly from them. But the target are the Igbos, so that, you know, when you say, ask all the Igbos who have become victims of this in Lagos, but then ask the Yorubas. The Yorubas themselves who felt like, the child has been attending the school last year. He joined the school 2 years ago. Why are you asking for, certificate of tax and all of that before? You have to show certificate of tax. So even though they claim that education is free in Lagos, but they were targeting the Igbos. Because of this, many Yorubas have been unable to take their children to government school in Lagos. Those who have money, they will just take their children to any labule, primary school, kindergarten, they call them private. It is the same when they were demolishing people's shops. The target are the Igbos, yes. But there are Yorubas, there are other Nigerians who are also shop owners, in fact, building owners. Well, they just want to get rid of the Igbos and get all of that. So all of these are existing, no matter how much they pretend. And if you don't believe, wait till you become that victim. Then it will come clear. But it will be too late then. So when they are demolishing people's homes everywhere, and they say they are targeting the Igbos, of course they will demolish. You can hear them. You can hear the Igbo landlord or the resident, Abi. But that doesn't mean that they are all Igbos in that place. But because they want to make sure that what happened in 2023 never happened again. That's what they said. And they promise you that it will never happen again. You will never have that courage to stand up and say you want to choose anybody that they did not choose in an election. That is why all of this is happening. They are destroying the same Lagos because of that same tribal bigotry that has become part of their own political tool and all that. But while they are doing all of that, they are also hurting Yorubas and non-Yorubas alike. I just hope that one of these days, a lot of you will be bold enough to come out and speak. That as they are dealing with those they consider as their enemies, the Igbos, because everything is Igbo, here and there now. And once you hear them shouting Igbo, this Igbo, that, start calling you Igbo, this or that, even if you are a Yoruba, just know that they are trying to cover up for something that they don't want to take responsibility for. And you can look around, it doesn't take time for you to know. As they are using their head for bigotry, they are not considering them in their profligacies, in their stealing, in their looting and sharing. They are not. So I just thought I should say that. I remember that we had a show on when people should begin to divest their own investments. There are better places across Yoruba land. You might see some of these, what do you call it? All these sewage dwellers, Oshogbo, Alimajuris here and there. The only place the fascists have managed to maintain power and the ideology of Agberoism is in Lagos. Even though they do have their think alike, as well as their stooges, he's got them across Yoruba land, but they have not been able to reciprocate what or recreate what Tifnubu has established in Lagos, a fiefdom. They've not been able to create that in Yoruba land. Okay? Other part of Yoruba land, as you must know, they have nothing in common with these Omualis who have done everything to help us as Yoruba people in joining the Alimajirism, where Rankadede would become our own culture and tradition born out of illiteracy as well as social conditioning. That's exactly their own theory. And if you go to the rest of Yoruba land, that's where you see people of sound mind who don't think bigots or bigotry, like these criminals who are suffering and smiling, and they blame it on everyone else but themselves. I'll take you somewhere quickly. Charade says, those who are against revolution are those who are either benefiting from these rots or they are looking forward to becoming a beneficiary of the rots. But whether they like it or not, revolution will happen. He strongly believes that. But before I go to Charade, we'll go to Germany. Do you know that Kolu is in Germany right now? As usual, he's doing his bulaba bala blue and all other nonsense, but I picked few where he kind of told the Germanese that their money is safe in Nigeria. They should bring their money to Nigeria. He actually told them nothing new, nothing sensible, just talk. Normally, when you see people who are not demented leading a country, okay, I'm very sure of what they have to offer. They will present what they have to offer, numerically, fact for facts, and all of that. You know what I mean? Like stats that these people can actually work with, not just a word of mouth. But I'm sorry if it's going to get you bored. It should be shared, okay? First, Kolu arrived. So after that, before they have their forum, like they will have a table like that where people will sit, and then the audience, media, and all of those will begin to ask questions, and they'll be directing their questions to the people on the high table. So before that time, okay, everyone who came from Africa, they went to Berlin to go and discuss Africa and how Europe can help Africa, including the GI ant of Africa, the crippled giant of Africa, led by the demented Kolu. And before they get on stage, at least you need to get to know yourselves. You need to have something to say. I mean, you should be able to say something and say, well, in Nigeria and all of that. Kind of engaging, intelligent conversation. Politico, si Kolu. It's like that old man will get dementia. And because before he get dementia, he was a security guard. And once in a while, they just would like to take him out and make him, just pretend that he's working. You know, that kind of thing. They'll take him out and make him pretend like he's working a security guard. And it's a senior one, maybe a supervisor security guard. Even though he's not guiding anybody. If he pain you, Baba, you go manage them because there will be more. Then they put a Kalu on stage. I promise you, I didn't know. I mean, I actually have no idea what the question that they asked him was. But from his answers, I also promise you, he is not answering the question they asked him. And if you are doubting me, maybe we should just see it together. Whatever sense you make out of it, apart from bring your money to Nigeria, your money is safe. And all other word salad, like, you see, in Africa, especially Nigeria, where we have the population, it should be a pointer to going to Saturn, from there to maybe to the solar eclipse that would then lead to the climate change that would change. The hope is here for these young people, Africa of tomorrow and yesterday in eternity. Did that make any sense? I was talking nonsense, Abi. Kalu talks like that. Because that's mostly what I kind of hear him say when he's trying to sound intelligent. By trying to just either manufacture figure from the thin air or just talk jargons from Aurelia, talking about Aurelia Agege, Abi Agege. And you are there, okay, Agege. And then from there, you just take you there straight to Suleja. So when you now turn from, like when you are in Agege like this, so when you turn right, when you turn left, you will be at the upper side to Suleja's Emir's palace. The Emir's palace is at the end of that Suleja before you now go to Sokoto. Say, Olori Bulele, Otibere Sokuso. That's the way I kind of hear whenever Kalu is talking. That is why whenever I want to listen to Kalu, I don't listen to him like I want to pick up anything intelligent from what he's saying. Either word salad, jargons that doesn't really add up and all that. But he talks anyway. And it cracks me up. I mean, on the lighter parts now, when I listen to him, I just feel like I'm listening to an old man. A very, very old, a very sick old man who just was, who used to be very smart, intelligent, crooked, and shady. But he's old and he's sick. So every now and then, when he sort of remembers his good old days, he reminisces them and he relates them, no matter how long ago that happened. He reminisces them and kind of bring them to life right now. And then you begin to laugh. I say, Papa, Grandpa, sit down. Ejoko. Grandpa, you are too funny. This is not 1960, sir. This is 2023. And they will tell you, you don't know anything. What is the difference? When we were younger like you, when I say, Baba, I love joke, relax. That's another way I see Kalu when he speaks. But there are some other brainless people who actually listen to Kalu and they feel like any of his word means anything that will make their lives better. In alone surprise me, the only surprise I do get that educated people will listen to Kalu and they will say they believe that he knows what he's saying and what he is doing. In 6 months, anyway, Mo, go listen. May not be like saying just me. I'll come back to Shubura.
Yes, no, or what are the impediments?
I say yes, because the promotional effort of the Chancellor as a visit to Africa recently is equally an indication that Europe is serious to do business with Africa. The good governance promotion in all sectors of our economy in Africa and stability of governance in Nigeria in particular, I would say, it is an indicator that yes, changes are at the door. not far off. Equally, we should continue to understand the data of Africa. When you look at Nigeria alone, the vehicular density of that country call for a sincere commitment to assembly plants, various auto parts, automotive parts, and all that. You can invest. There's no way, if good governance in your corporate body is employed, there's no way you'll lose money. That's it. Yes, on Siemens, I agree that near obsolete equipment is not the answer, it's not the solution to what we needed in Africa. The critical path to success is to be able to leapfrog from where we are today to the next generation of development. And we are opening the door for all of that. The energetic population of youth and well-educated population that is available is enough to attract. In every business, human resources is a great capital incentive for investors. Yes, rule of law is a must because business, yes, may be cowardly. If you are bogged down in bigger, bureaucratic problems, you might not have the necessary investment that you expect. We are reforming the rule of law. We are adhering to that. And we definitely will continue to promote the opportunity given today by Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, His Excellency Tinubu.
I told you, you'll be hearing big words, okay? And then at a point, you'll be like, okay, it's about to make sense. But person they speak English that everybody listened to just now. If I ask you to start writing it down, a lot of you Guinea. Person where they speak English, but they will still need interpreter. Somebody will still have to tell you, don't understand. He's talking about business opportunity in Nigeria because Nigeria has the population, the density. Nigerians have vehicular density. So he's telling them to come and set up assembly plant in Nigeria. Sure you get. And then all the bureaucrats, they will do everything to kind of begin to explain to you. Benny, I heard what he said. That is not how he said it. Why are you the one trying to explain to me? Shemo daftini. Is that how he said it? Why can't he say the way you said it? Without going about here and there and all of that, that doesn't really make any tangible sense. But this guy will disagree. Shitty man.
Overshadow him in terms of brand name recognition, in terms of intellect, in terms of capacity, even in terms of indefatigability. So overshadow.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
You get Awurawo làwọn méjèèjì 2G4 Sangbeto àti Sangbedu. Sangbeto, yeah, that's Sangbeto. That one is Tifnumbu. Sagbendu or somebody said na Sagbe bomb. Wolumo Emiyosobeo. Whether you call her na Sagbe bomb or na Sagbendu. Bendu. Now the two people where they in charge of Nigeria be that, and you won't get economy like China, economy like America. She Sunni. Charade said. Let's start with this one.
It is pointless chasing a rat when your house is on fire. Nigeria needs a revolution or else. Nigerians must understand that unless something drastic happens, we cannot have elections that are won on the basis of ideas. As things stand in Nigeria today, our successive governments have destroyed the basis for any progressive politics. You cannot have a country where young people who are brilliant, who have ideas, are told to run for councillors, while people with antiquated ideas are recommended to be presidential candidates. And even they become president. That's why the country is the way it is today. Unless a revolution happens in this country, same way they had in Sudan, probably in Nigeria, it's going to be difficult to have free and fair elections. I am saying it so that we're not under any illusion that somehow, if we continue to talk, it is not a battle of wits, that the democratic space will open for us to have a country where good people, great ideas can lead the country. As we chanted during our recent protest march in Maryland area of Lagos, in Nigeria where just 5 people will be richer than 200 million people, call a work. In Nigeria where your NEPA bill is greater than your house rent, call a work. To the skeptics who say Nigerians are too apathetic and divided to rise up for a revolution or up to a revolution, I said this. Hunger doesn't know ethnicity, insecurity doesn't know religion, and when Nigeria becomes a better place, it won't matter where you come from. The time for revolution is now, and it will not.
Thank you, show. But a lot of people who don't like his face, you are going to take that message eventually, because these guys are going to push you to that stage very, very soon. We are getting there closely. When they touch and touch everyone, I want to replay this if you don't mind. The economy that is going to get better. Again, no, this woman, no.
Those ones that they say they fly at night and with broom. Those ones are not your problems. The witches and wizards, they tell you travel at night or come in form of bat or owl. Those ones are not your problem. In Luke chapter 9, the Bible says Jesus gave them authority and power over all the devils. That means the okapata of all the devils and all his what? Followers. The witches and wizards in Nigeria, they are small devils. God has given you authority and power over the big one. How much? That one. And in Mark chapter 16, it says nothing shall hurt you. You shall not be hurt. The witches and wizards I'm talking about, they are in the presidency, in the National Assembly, in the Senate, in government houses. They are civil servants. They are politicians. They are Hausas, Igbos, Yorubas. They are Catholics, Pentecostals, Protestants, Christians, Muslims. Those are the witches and wizards that kill more people in Nigeria. In fact, the other witches, I don't even know whether they have killed anybody. But these particular witches or wizards I'm talking about, they are responsible for thousands of deaths. If you are giving money to do road, and you don't do the road, and somebody has accident because of bad road and die, what do you think you are? You are a witch. You have taken blood. You are giving money to equip hospitals. You refuse to build a hospital or even equip. And the medication or medical attention that would have saved somebody is not, and the person dies. What do you think you are? It's a witch. We have them all over the place. That in Nigeria, pensioners will be queuing to take their pension of 50,000, and they wait and wait until some will die because somebody doesn't want to push their file, or somebody has swallowed the money meant for their pension. And you tell me you are a human being? No, you are a witch. Witch is sweet. You are a winch. And a huge one, a winch. Those are the ones you should be afraid of. Forget about these ones that some men of God tell you that. Those are not the ones. The witches and wizards that have key destinies in Nigeria, they are presidents, governors, senators, members of House of Rep, civil servants, and contractors. Those are the ones that have key. All the deliverance you are running about for people to release your destiny. Those who are holding your destiny, they are in Aso. I am very serious about it. It's not the small witches they say they are flying up and down. Those ones, they are looking for blood. If they don't see your blood, they will go and chop fruit and rest. You survive this kind of people in Nigeria, you should be happy. There's another set of witches and wizards, fake pastors and men of God. Those ones who have given people wrong pseudo-religious theories. They have destroyed marriages, bankrupted businesses, and made people to start thinking backward. They even block you from seeing where your real problem is coming. Men of God are coming to a family and brother will become afraid of his own brother. Relatives will no longer eat their food. Before you even shake a relative, you remember what they told you, that they are transferring power. If you have survived all these forces, just know that Psalm 91 is working in your life. He said 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right. You it will never approach, because his faithfulness is buckler and shield. He said your eyes have only to look to see how the wicked are repaid. He has given his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. It can also be Psalm 125. Those who put their trust in the Lord, they are like Mount Zion that cannot be shaken, that stands firm forever. And as the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people. Help me tell somebody, God has surrounded you. God has surrounded you. That is the reason you are alive today. And I pray that you continue to surround you all the days of your life.
Father Uloma, is that not his name? Father Uloma, a very brilliant soul. Seriously. This, you see that preaching, that was how the Christian body led the civil rights movement in America that has inspired generations outside America. There are many of your uncles who got inspired politically because of the civil rights movement in America. Guess those behind that? The church. The Protestants, all the churches, especially black churches, they funded them. They spoke against the injustice that they were suffering at the time. Racial justice, economic injustice, racial injustice, and all of that. Church. They preach in the open. They preach in their churches. They preach in everywhere. They encourage those who are not even Christians also to join them. And they made a mark. That's how they used to preach. They tell the people the truth. They tell them the truth. In Nigeria, when you tell the people the truth, they will say you are trying to make the people hate the government, hate the criminals who are ruining their lives. So if you stand up and say, oh my God, we are not taking this out, this is too much and all that, they will say you are doing so because you hate them, not because you are screaming as a victim of their actions. So you need people like that to tell the people. You have them in Nigeria mosque too, who speaks like that man. It's just that you don't really get to see them all the time. There are those who are bold enough to tell their people the truth. The people behind your destiny, all these village people, witches and wizards, even they themselves, that they ask for money to shop now. Witches and wizards. They are not after your blood or anything. The people who are after your life are those who continue to make sure that you don't have health care, you don't have education, you don't have job, your businesses are dying. Those who are devaluing your life, they are the witches and wizards. I never tell you that one before. Sure. Let me wrap them up.
If you take extreme measures, nobody needs all these lectures. Nobody needs it. That time, if the rebel leader drops a voice note, all of you will find data to listen to it because your survival depends on it. Those of us who are still doing this are the most civilized, I won't say civilized, amongst us. The second aspect of it, which is very, very important, is that you are not going to take Nigeria back on the back of the system they have in place now. You are not going to take Nigeria back with an election. It's not happening because right now, the next set of people that will win the next election were selected 3 days ago. And some of them are people who rig elections at the state level. The worst election rigging machines are the state electoral commissions in Nigeria. Let me also spoil your evening. That the next set of Supreme Court justices, because already they are saying that 10 is not enough, will be selected by Tinubu. So imagine with Tinubu selected, appointed Supreme Court justices, his own permanent electoral commission, how you are going to win even councillorship election. And when you don't win, they will ask you to go to court. Go and ask in Abuja. All the new judges that were recently selected to be in the FCT High Court were relatives of former judges or their children or wives or their girlfriends. So, I'm sorry to say, you are screwed. Yes. Except you dig yourself out of this hole. And I'm not afraid to say it, and I'll repeat it any day, anywhere, anyhow, that except there's a revolution, Nigeria cannot be liberated on the platform of, if you like, you can hand me, let me just finish. If you like, you can hand me 20 microphones. They are tone deaf. They don't listen to this anymore. And the security agents are there to do their bidding, even when they haven't paid them their salaries. I have a bunch of policemen who talk to me as they're senior police officers. Anytime they don't pay their allowances, they call me. 3 days ago, one of them called me and said, Mr. Ashok, they haven't paid our allowances again. No. I said, they haven't. They said, yes, this new IG hasn't paid our allowances. He listed all the allowances, plenty of them. I said, okay, that's very good. What do we do? We need Sahara to blow it up. It's okay. Sahara can blow it up, but if people go out to fight for you to get your allowances, you are the stupid people that will shoot them. Yes. And the excuse will be the same. We are just doing our job. It's order from above. So, if the order from above is not to pay your allowances, the order from above is also telling me not to report it. You know, so our aboves are talking to us. But I don't want to reduce this matter to something too funny. It is just to give you how dire our situation is. I've been repeating it severally, that in the history of this country, the last leader is always better than the new one. Yes. I won't be surprised if people start apologizing to Buhari, yes, from the end of this year. And you might be surprised that the University of Ibadan might invite Buhari to come and be giving speeches here to talk about how he ran a fantastic economy during his tenure, where the Naira was stable, and how he was protecting the interests of Nigeria. In fact, you might be lucky they might name a hall after him. That's if they don't even name the university after him. That is where we are, and that's what I want you to ponder on as young people. One last thing I wanted to correct is this idea that the people who are living in the country are young. Everybody's living. Old, young, you know, people who can walk, carry people who cannot walk. Everybody is living. And there's no longer limitation to where Nigerians are going to. If you get to a point where Nigerians are moving to Ukraine, you know you are in trouble. This is not a joke. I don't know if you guys knew that we're just trying to save a young lady from Iraq. Because she's from Ibadan. Yes, I think she's from here, from Oyo State. She went and she's living in, and her boss, your parents, now they want to stone her to death or something by the end of the year. And the first thing when I was told, the message came through my Facebook Messenger. I asked the person, I don't know if I asked him, but I was surprised. Is there any Nigerian in Iraq? But when the story story played out, I discovered that it's not only in Iraq. There are a lot of Nigerians in Libya. Yes. They said there's a place in Tripoli where the Amala there is better than the one in Ibadan, Amalaska here. Because Nigerians will go to anywhere else but live here. And I just want to leave you with this sad tale. I'm sorry, I don't have anything else to tell you.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. Oh. Now you mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise? Ah.
Mumu man. If you continue, like Charade said, though, everybody is leaving. Those who cannot walk, they are carrying. Those who can walk, they are carrying those who cannot walk. And you're delaying. And like he also said, people are already right now. He said that he won't be surprised when people will begin to apologize to Bokwari. People have not started apologizing to Bokwari, but they are already saying it. Bokwari time better. The people that never believed that Nigerian Naira will cross 200 Naira. Today, it has crossed 1,000 Naira. Now they are remembering, they are remembering Bokwari. So that's why Charade said, where do you want to start from? Group yourselves again. Go and get PVC. And then once they rig you, you go to court. Tifnumbu is appointing justices for the Supreme Court now. He's going to appoint justices for appeal court, all the courts in Nigeria. He's going to fill them up with his own people. If he feels like Yakubu has too much what the baggages, he can change him by 2025. He will remove him, put another person there. And that one will be what? Loyal to who? Do you think he's going to be loyal to you? So you want to go into election with these people, right? Oh, boy, smart gone. Anyway, I want to take calls so that I'm not going to be like, Maiyegun, it's been a while, let's take calls. So I'm going to take calls tonight, okay? But the line is going to be opened in a minute. Now, if you have been watching since and you haven't really liked the video, pay your own offering, you can take your time and do so now. Like the broadcast, okay? And then I will be back. Maybe in about 30 seconds. The line is going to be opened in a minute. All right. Thank you very much. Let's get on with that.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
Call you. Now, when you got in that same Germany, we don't know what's happen again. Oh, they have to put him at, it's like somebody will say, you can easily, all the people waiting inside this video, this picture, they can easily just cut him off like he's never there. Abba, giant of Africa. Oh, God. I have a first caller. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun, my brother.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Charles. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Sir Charles. Where are you calling from in Nigeria, by the way?
I'm calling from Niger State. I'm a first-time caller. Yeah.
That means that you are the first-time caller then. I've never spoken to anybody from Niger State. Wow. How are you, Charles?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great.
It has been a very good 2 weeks. I started watching MaiyegunsDiary.
Oh dear.
I have an inspiration. Yes, and most of the things you are saying, it's like you are talking from my innermost mind. I think I'm the one speaking.
Right.
That is the way you view Nigeria, the way you see Nigeria is how I saw Nigeria for a very long time. Even I discussed it with most of my friends, but they will find it difficult to understand. Probably because I'm an Igbo man living in the north, they feel I'm being kind of biased against their people or substance like that.
I get that. It's like they always treat your opinion based on where or who you are or where you come from. So they are not really interested in seeing through. I get that too.
Yeah. And do you know that all these agitators, people talking, both Sowore, both Nnamdi Kanu, both Maiyegun, we are just asking for one thing, and these people don't want to listen. And what is that? A good Nigeria, a place where everybody can be treated equally.
That's right.
No more, no less. Do you know that if the Nigerian government can call Nnamdi Kanu or Sunday Igboho or whoever to come to a round table to discuss Nigeria, and those guys are ready to discuss on a better Nigeria.
You know, that is if they are willing to actually obey any agreement.
That is yes, if they are willing, which they are not ready and they are not willing.
No.
And to me, I would not like to take most of your time. I want other callers to call. I'm very happy, very, very glad that I'm able to call. The other day, yesterday, the day we talk about the black tax, I called. I was the first person to call because of the situation of Nigeria network problem. I
couldn't connect you. I waited for a few seconds and I'm like, okay, maybe you call back, but it became busier.
Yeah, I tried calling back, but I was unable to connect. That is it. So
I'm glad that you did tonight. It's okay. It's such a pleasure speaking to you.
I'm very, very glad. I'm happy. It's a pleasure to speak.
Just take it easy, bro.
So
right?
Keep on. And we are taking it easy. Actually, that's black tax that you talk about, as if you talk to me. It's not only the people in abroad, but here in Nigeria.
Now. Even all of you in Nigeria, there are many of you who are drowning in black taxes too.
I'm also a victim of that. Do you know that I almost the first time I know when people talk about depression, you just hear it.
And you'll be like, that can never happen to me depressed.
Yes.
Me, a street guy, depressed. But it will happen.
I actually experienced what they call depression, and what brought about it is black tax. And I'm in Nigeria. I'm just few weeks, few months that I'm trying to put myself together out of it because I have to move on.
In recovery, yeah, trying to get yourself back and trying to get yourself on and all that, yeah.
Yes. I'm currently in that. So, man. No problem. That's the situation.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad that you have a place where you can cool off every evening after all the stress of the day. Means to just put your mind together in a place and getting for that's enough. And I'm glad that you yourself have said that this platform has been of great help to some extent. Okay, and I hope it continues to be until you get yourself back on. Okay, Baba, just take it easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.
That's Charles from Niger State. I didn't bother asking where in Niger, but being the first time I'm speaking to somebody from Niger State in Nigeria, that sort of swept me off my feet. So thank you so much, Charles, for calling. I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Maiyegun General.
Yes,
good evening.
Sir.
Yeah, this is CA from Atlanta.
Oh, CA. I kind of got you again today. I know. CA from Atlanta. Baba, how are you today?
I'm good. I didn't want to call on the day of that black tax because I live in the US, but I was listening to everything. It is similar to everybody, different stories.
Hardly no one has suffered it, but it's like a good and bad stories. And
good and bad,
end,
yes,
right?
Everyone
who has experienced either of them can at least feel good or feel, Baba.
the entitlement mentality of people back home is astonishing. It's unbelievable.
Tell me about it.
You know, people call you, but I recently sent some money down. The person that gave the largest amount, they didn't call to say thank you. Just send a text.
Not even thank you.
He just send a text. He just send a text. That's it.
Hey.
You know, the person that gave the list was the one that called me, thanking me. And the money I gave him, I thought the money was so little. I was even ashamed to give him that kind of guy, give him that kind of money. He was so appreciative calling me. You know. So about Nigeria, like the first caller said, we had the same ideology from day one, but people still don't understand. I don't know whether they are blind. I don't know. They refuse to understand what is going on in that country. But
I think they do understand what they mostly, right? You know, why the majority we never have yet CA is that the majority of those who are actually going to do what they should do. A lot of people know what is going on. A lot of people are currently doubting, should we do this or should we not? Once we get to a stage where we all agree on those 3 things I mentioned earlier, right? Baba?
Yeah.
I don't think anything will hold anybody back anymore, but we just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I think what we have now is a big trigger. It's gradually, it's like the clock, it's like a time bomb that is set for maybe 10 minutes, ticks every second, bit by bit, keep ticking. I think to get to a time
to 100.
it's gonna explode. It's gonna explode. Because from what we have now, like I told my younger brother, when you are greedy, you cannot change it.
You can't change it.
When you are greedy, you are earning billions. The guy that is earning $10,000, 10,000 naira, you want to take from that 10,000 naira with your billions. That's exactly the kind of leaders we have now.
Exactly.
Thank you, Maiyegun. I just let others talk.
Thank you so much as well for stopping by today. Everyone has a story when it comes to black tax, no doubt. And if you did miss out during the program on that day, of course, you can still call in, but we just won't give you that much time like that of today, okay? So you may mention it, be brief, and then go on to the to this issue. I have a caller. That should be Ken. Is that you?
Yes, Maiyegun.
Ken, how are you? Kenneth?
I'm fine, and you?
Well, I'm very well too. Thanks for asking. It's good to hear from you, Baba.
Yeah, please keep me in your prayers. I got 4 weeks to go before I enter that jungle called Nigeria.
So I got 4 weeks. You might know what my prayer point will be, sir. Okay. Should I keep you in prayer that you just came back, or should I keep you in prayer that you are still there?
No, I'm getting ready to.
That's the third one. Or should we keep you in prayer that you are about to go in there?
Yes, that's the one.
You've done nothing wrong than to just understand where you are going. You know the rule, right? You know the rules.
I do.
Okay. Like I'll tell everyone on here, and like you yourself have actually told people on this platform, right? Whenever you know you are going to Nigeria, the date, the time, and every other thing should be kept to yourself. Okay. And if you have to make a provision for those who are going to come and see you and all of that, sometimes you probably will have to tell them just the moment you are boarding. They have no idea when you are coming or what have you. But I mean, keep things to yourself. And when you have to be in Nigeria as well, it is ideal to keep a low profile. Share you get. Now, Americans, I will say, they carry well. So you don't just keep the low profile, enjoy every moment of it. Don't argue with their policemen. Don't even question them. Walk away from them if you can. And wherever you can bribe them and give them money just to escape their danger, don't stand your ground. Don't prove any right there, please. They are very simple for it. It's simple advice, okay? And I want to see you safely. Remember that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot.
God bless you. Sir.
Yeah, let me just chip in my contribution to I think it was a few days ago when you made a statement about was it black tax and all those things.
Of course, the black tax that has ruined a lot of people, and it has also made a lot of people who have no regrets. So you hear that?
So like what everybody said, even including that interview granted to Mikel Obi, that he made those points. To be honest with you, everything he said there is absolutely true, and it's still currently happening. It's still currently happening. There is, look, I have like 2 cars back home. These 2 cars they are mostly SUV, and I do my best to make sure that I tell them, please run this car, let this car be moved, because when they are stationary, they become more problem.
They could go get even electrical problems, you know, where rats could cut out the cables and all that. You're right.
Yes. Maiyegun, can you believe that I will give these people money? In fact, the least is almost like between 800 to 1 million naira. Yet, I will still be hearing complaint. Even sometimes when I get there, the way the car will drive, sometimes the way I will hearing sound, I'm like, so I mean, all this freaking money I'm giving you guys, what the hell is going on? Are you telling me like you can't get this car up and running to this thing? Maiyegun, at the end of the day, guess what? When I do my own private investigation, Lord have mercy. Do you know that my family member and the people, the item, are in cahoots?
Mostly, there's always somebody that is actually very close to you that you trust.
Exactly.
Sure, you get now. There are those who are, you know, once those ones are falling, every other fraudsters will get to you and they will use him.
Exactly.
It's so sad.
Exactly.
If it is somebody's sister, if it is your brother, if it is your mom, if it is your dad, that falls under that anointing of greed, it doesn't matter how much they love you or how much you love them. You see, whatever they are doing, they will not even see that they are destroying you slowly. They won't see it as that. They will just see it as entitlement. Am I not your blood? No, that's not right.
Okay. I got to a point whereby I said, you know what, I know what to do. So I came up with a plan B. I'll call them. So take it to this dealership, Mercedes-Benz. Take this other car, the other one, Honda. Take it to the dealership there. When you get there, this is the address. Get there and give it to them. They know what to do.
They do.
So you know what? I just call them in advance and let them know that they are coming with a car, and these are the issues. So they just drop it off them. Do you know that after I did that, these douchebags, you know what they did? They still went and still try to go try and see if they can corner those ones and let them know
with those ones again to say, how much is everything? Everything is 120,000 naira. No. Put it 1.2 million, please. But why? Write 1.2 is my brother. I know what I'm saying. I'll give you something. That kind of a thing, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah. And I noticed that same ones there, even the dealers there, they still have some corrupt ones there that are willing to pay more. But willing to pay more. Anyway,
it is the system. So have you not heard this, Ken, where you open a business and you have set everything up, okay, everything fine. Whenever people want to transact with you, there is a payment system they have to use, okay? Yours. And the people you employ pay good money. They will come with their own personally developed payment system to their own bank accounts. They are selling your products. They are selling your service. When it's time to pay, they will give them their own machine. People do that regularly in Nigeria right now.
Anyway, my long story short, even this one that I'm going, like I said, they don't know. But I can assure you, by the time I come back, trust me, I got juicy story to tell you exactly things that are going to play themselves out. Because as it is now, I don't even know what I'm walking into. I have no idea.
And that is why you have to keep a little of your plan to your chest now. Exactly. And one more thing I forgot to say. You would have to stay away from social media, except the temple every evening anyway. So yeah, you have to stay away. All your movement, your activities, and all of that stuff, you stay away 100% away from the social media. Don't put anything there. And you will be fine. Because like you said, you don't know what you are walking into. I can only imagine myself.
I don't, but all I know is that with your prayer, and each time I watch, I hope to keep myself intact.
No, you're a smart man. See, Kenneth, I'm glad that you shared that. You know why I love it when such conversation is had like this, okay? That I'm going to Nigeria. There are those who are also watching this program. Okay, they are not going to tell me they are going to Nigeria, but they are going. And I've had people who have told me when they came back from Nigeria to say, Maiyegun, I'm so happy that I watched your program, and that really helped me to plan my trip to Nigeria, and I have no regrets whatsoever. Because I was being cautious, they are very simple information, though. Sure you get. But if one should by any means become the victim of that contraption, it is always a story that nobody really want to wish happen to them. So that's why we always take all those simple precautions and all that. But even if you don't listen to me, your government in America already warned you. Sure, remember, be careful of the hotels you are going to stay. It is ideal to stay with relative, friends, and if you have your own properties there to stay in, great. Going to Nigeria and lodging into just any hotel in any state in Nigeria could actually be one of your greatest mistake of your visit to Nigeria. It's no longer like it used to be anymore. EFCC could raid you, NDLA could raid you. A lot of things could happen. You could get robbed in there, and a lot of things could happen. I'm not saying everything everywhere. So, Kenneth, I wish you a very safe one, okay?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I will still be talking to you before I leave.
You do even need to talk to us when you get there, too. I mean, you know,
I will.
You need to let us know how you're doing, even if you don't have to say where you are. Ken?
I will.
Take it easy, okay? Have a good one. That is a Kenneth. I will say the same thing to myself, okay? I know, say if me, I tell you now that I'm going to Nigeria, a lot of you automatically, I mean, more than 90% of you, every day you'll be waiting for the breaking news that maybe something will happen. So if I go to Nigeria myself, I know what I'm walking into. Sure you get. So definitely, I will have my own plan of how to enter and how to get out as well. It is what it has become. This is not even funny. You know what I mean? This is Nigeria now. What these criminals have made sorry, my caller. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, hi, Uncle Maiyegun.
Hey, our lady. How are you?
Yeah, I thank God. Fine, thank you.
Great. So we have Lady Beatrice in the house as well. So, ma'am.
Yeah,
please.
First of all, tell this guy that is traveling, he should please go low profile. The best way to go
in that. So important to go low profile. So important.
So if he has to wear bathroom slippers and go on.
That much? Really?
Yes, that's what I do when I travel. In fact, I traveled from Germany sometimes.
Right.
I just wear this leather slippers, and if it is winter time, when I get to the airport into Nigeria, I change and wear the leather slippers and.
You take everything off in the plane, right? And you put on your slippers because you know you're walking straight into the warmer space anyway. So.
Yeah, and then I don't wear
low profile, okay.
I don't wear anything that anybody will see me and start thinking maybe I'm coming from somewhere. Just go low profile. If you want to show off, you put yourself in trouble. People are
know that in Nigeria, you are easily spotted. When they look at you, so radiating fresh and all of that, they can tell how good you are from where you're coming from, even if you are putting on a rag jean. Do you know that? I mean, people must have told you that as well, one-on-one in Nigeria, to tell you the difference. Even if you're wearing a dirty shirt or clothes and all that, right? They can tell from your skin. Exactly. And people will be asking that, how do you know? They say, my friend, forget, we can tell you are not from here. Even policemen will say, you are not from here. So I would like to learn about that, your own low profile, Mao.
That's low profile for many years. You know.
Really
have been profile. And I just want to be there for my children.
Bless you.
So anyway, back to the topic of today.
Yes, ma'am.
I listened to your analysis and everything from the beginning. These people that are leading Nigeria, they are not human beings. They are criminals. They are just criminals. How can a whole state government, Lagos and everywhere, amassing so much wealth on themselves, and a whole city has no light, no road, no nothing,
no water?
The money you mentioned about Lagos State alone, if they put it into that system, Lagos State will glow. Even in Imo State, I remember when Buhari himself traveled to Imo. He said it on TV that he was disappointed.
I remember.
He said that he didn't see what he expected. Are you getting me? And the man only did one road, and that was it. Nothing to show for all the millions that were sent. And then now he rigged himself back in. Again. And the problem with all this thing is that you still have those people, they are giving stipends from their loot that are supporting them because of the stipends they are getting. Are you getting me? Nobody is thinking. Like Showore said, somebody called him and told him blah, blah, blah. You know, he said, but if the people now go and try to support you, are still the one that will shoot them.
They will send to go and shoot and kill them. And when they ask you why, you say you are doing your job. The same job they are not paying you for.
Exactly. You see, so it's really, really so troublesome. I watched the demolitions.
Did you see that too?
I said, my God.
That was people's hard work. Demolished.
Hard work.
Just like that. No compensation, no nothing. And it is always like regular like that in Nigeria. They will say, well, now you build on a pipeline. You build on a waterway. You did this or that. And all your investment gone.
They gave them the authority to do the building.
They did.
They gave them everything. And you see, the serious thing about it is, as they are demolishing now, they will still give some people where they should go and build. Another government will come and will still go there and demolish. Again. Because they are all just evil. You see, they said in the Bible that the Satan came to kill, steal, and destroy.
That is right.
That is what they are doing. There is nothing about God in them. Nothing. And they have not what you call feelings for a fellow human being.
No empathy, no sympathy, no feelings.
No feelings. You are just doing things because you can do them. And they forget that even if after their governance and they run out of that country, there's nowhere they go in the whole world they will not meet Nigerians.
You know?
They will not meet Nigerians. So it is so really, really debasing. It is heartbroken. It is very stressful to watch these things, and you don't know. Showure said this is the right time now for what do you call it?
Revolution.
And
people must make up their mind.
Yes,
what they want.
With revolution, my brother, is if the revolution is going to take place state by state. Are you getting me?
I'm with you.
Let the whole state of Imo go revolution against their own government. And not everybody in Lagos go revolution against Lagos. Like that. But if we are waiting for when, and everybody in Abuja go revolution against those who are in Abuja, they are dealing with all, then it might work. But if you're looking for when everybody will come together as Nigerians to do revolution, it wouldn't work because we don't love one another. We are even happier suffering and supporting those.
As long as they belong to our own clan or our tribe or ethnic.
Fela called it suffering and smiling.
Suffering and smiling.
Suffering and smiling. You see, they hated him because of his own truths. They hated him. They killed his mother, and they eventually succeeded in killing him. You see, so it's sort of a sickening situation. It has nothing to do with religion.
No.
I think that these people, they are people that belong to occults. These top people, I learned that all of them belong to occultism.
They cannot be godly people, ma.
No.
And treat Nigeria the way they have treated Nigerians.
Exactly, because
they cannot be called patriotic.
No.
The way they have treated Nigeria.
No.
So you can easily call them, saboteurs who are
wizards. They are what?
No, I want to say you can call them saboteurs, right?
Yes.
Who have sabotaged the whole country. Otherwise, they have committed treasonable felony, treasonable offense against the country and the people. The people have no idea the gravity of that
there is no conscience of any kind.
They don't.
Look at how the other time millions of rotten money was brought out in.
Did you see that too? The money that got expired and it became powder.
But nobody discussed about it. It was not brought to the court. Nobody was affected.
No.
In containers, in trucks. There was one young man, his boss told him from Delta, no, not from Delta, from not Imo State, the other state very close to Imo State, not Anambra, another state.
So you have Rivers, you have Kogi. These are few share border with Imo.
Yeah,
and
where is Aba? Where is Aba? Does Aba belong to Imo? No.
No, Aba belongs to Abia.
Abia, I think it's Abia State or something.
Abia
like
is also, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like a driver was sent to the garage to go and arrange money and clean the place. So when he got there, he couldn't even stand the stench because the whole money has gotten rotten. The money that was not rotten at the foreign exchange. And this guy was just using his telephone to picture everything and say, look at, even me here, I don't have any money to feed my family. And look at where the money is. These people, they are not part of us. They are evil. And the only thing evil understands is force.
Yes.
To understand force. With those of us,
it's actually the rule of what do you call the rule of nature that it takes a bigger force to tame a smaller or big force. So if you have a force of this size, you need a bigger force to combat it. You don't go there and begin to clap your hand and say, listen, think about what you are doing now. Why are you doing this? Think about God now. No. You have to bring out a bigger force.
Yes.
To face them. We are going to get there.
I think it's a Catholic pastor who also preached that the witches and wizards are not.
Is Reverend Uloma?
Yeah.
Very popular speaker like that. Amazing man.
The real witches that are killing you are not those ones you are thinking.
They are here too.
They're in Abuja, they're in the state government.
They are those wearing Babariga, wearing your native wears, dressing like you and all of that. Those are the witches and wizards. He called them winches. He didn't even call them witches. He said winches.
Winches. My brother, I'm so tired and I don't know what to do. I don't have the means to carry my own family, all of them out of that system.
Sure you get
I don't have the means. I can only bring who I can. But you know the law here, you cannot just bring
everyone just like as you wish. Even if they ask you that, even if you know that you have the power to bring everyone, but you are on your own. So if you have the economic capital to bring everybody, go ahead and do it. But we know what it takes to even bring one person. Unless you bringing your entire,
I'm also a German citizen, so I'm looking for their website and maybe if I can find their Twitter account. I want to tweet to them. Don't listen to that thief. Don't take your people anywhere.
He's a liar. They know him. They do, man.
Don't take your people anywhere to Nigeria. Nigerians are suffering. They caused it. All this migration here and there, people who are suffering, young men and women.
Are escaping from Nigeria, looking for where to go to.
Because of these evil people.
That's right.
Now come and bring dirty grammar that he cannot explain. And then you listen to him. I want to really write because I'm a German citizen. They will listen to me.
Bless you. Thank you so much, ma. Yeah. Let me.
To Nigeria.
Thank
my
you,
brother. You are doing so well.
Thank you.
And I pray that God will continue to.
Amen. And I tell you, these prayers actually, are answered.
You are the mouthpiece of many Nigerians.
Thank you, ma.
Don't be afraid. Continue the work of God you are doing.
I will. And then you stay safe there too, ma, okay? And I will speak to you again, okay?
Thank you so much.
Cheers, ma. Bye-bye. So that's our Lady Beatrice. Among our mothers, women who I am so proud that I have a lot of them on MaiyegunsDiary Politico that are politically conscious, savvy, intelligent, women who are interested. You know what I mean? Like they are not just hearing this, like, well, it's just men's thing. You know, this men's thing. They who are mostly the what do you call it, the guardian of what majority of us will become or we've become in our life, the role of women. So when I see them on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, where they are able to contribute and participate in the conversation around politics and all this like this, I am always so internally happy, because it simply means that they are not just sitting down and watching. All right, they are compelled to share and add their own, from their own experience and intelligence as well. It makes the conversation more sort of interesting. People have told me that. So I appreciate every one of you who has taken time to always want to be part of this. I'll take another one. So here, hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening to you, sir. I know it is evening for you in Scotland. It's also evening for me. This is Anthony from Austin, Texas.
So Anthony from Austin, Texas.
Texas,
which I believe that you should be around 4, 5 p.m. around so time.
Yeah, it's 4:44 p.m.
Is that right? So it's great to hear from you again tonight, please.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the good work. We will continue to pray for you. We're not only going to pray for those who are traveling to Nigeria, we're also going to pray for those of us who are still back here.
All of us, yeah, we
because all those bad guys out there, so long as you are pressing their neck, they will, even if it's not jazz, there's always a way they will be throwing their jazz around. But it's not going to get any of them.
Do you know how many of them that will actually like sit in front of their screen and wish they have some certain power, just to show to all of you, say, they can touch anyone they want. Do you know how many people will sit in front of their screen and be like, I wish this thing will work now. Might just tell this Maiyegun to start barking like a dog. Or I should tell him to start, to start crying like a baby. And everybody will notice that. Do you know maybe who imagine what they could do to me? The kind of power they will have. Just because of the way they hate the truth that they hear in this program. So I get it.
100%. But the truth, the truth behind it is that all those things they are wishing should happen to people will eventually happen to them and their families. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for their generations, for their children, because what you sow, you will reap. And again, they said, for those that believe in the Bible, they said, the sin of the father is visited on the children and the generation unborn. So that's why some of these people, to the 5th generation, most of them claim to be religious people, but they don't even understand the concept of religion, So let's quickly move away from there. I know how much it took me to get you, so let me not hold you down too much.
No, it's okay.
Right, yes, I enjoyed the clips you played about Charade. And, whenever I listen to Charade, I feel like that thing that is supposed to happen tomorrow should happen today. You get. And the guy gives me the kind of juice that I supported P2B in 2023 election, even though I was not in Nigeria to vote.
So you had the diaspora obedience.
Yes.
Now they give them liver. Now they formed obedient in Nigeria. They say all of them are obedient abroad. Now they give the ones Nigeria liver because now get the money. So here is one. Go on, Baba. I'm interested.
The point, they are free to say whatever they want to say.
Who cares?
But the thing is that we are the ones that they cannot blindfold. They are religious leaders or misleaders, which they use to blindfold the people. Those ones cannot get to us.
No.
The little crumbs they throw around to people to support them and to be loyal and to wash their feet. We are not pet up. Those things will not get to us. That is why we are that is why we are the ones that tells them the truth as it is. We are the ones that will always stand up to them the way, tell them exactly who they are,
because,
and they
because their bullying doesn't even touch you too. They can do all their gra-gra. They can do all their off and puff, but they can only do those in Nigeria.
Exactly.
They never get
okay. Look at this. I mean, this our brother that said he's traveling home. If he's still listening, I'm joining him, Ken. Right? I'm joining him in prayers. Yes. I know what it means to be going there. Like what you said, Maiyegun, you are perfectly right. If you like, go to Nigeria and carry a poto rub your body. When they look you, they know say you are coming from abroad. They know. They know. So I pray for him that he will make his journey successfully and come back to his
he
base.
has to.
You know,
should happen to Ken
so,
or anybody here.
Yes,
I mean,
nothing will happen to him.
When you really see these things happen, even to your worst enemy, you would never wish it.
Yes,
that's how bad it is. So you know, he has to come back. Go on, Baba.
He's gonna come back. So now, what I am thinking, we all, it looks to me like we have all resigned to that point that we are waiting for people back home to be pushed to the wall. We all know that they have been pushed to several layers of walls, which they themselves will crack that wall open and continue to go to the next wall. They get to the next wall, they press their neck on it. The wall might even be a concrete wall. They will still crack it, but it looks to me that we are gradually getting to a point that they will get to a point where it is no longer a wall that can be cracked open for them to continue to go. They will now probably fight back.
That decision will become like instead of meeting a concrete or brick wall, it's going to be steel. And the steel wall cannot be broken into. So you have to turn back and fight.
You have to turn back and fight. So now, I was on a Twitter space a couple of days ago, and I made a suggestion.
Right.
In fact, I put your name out there because there was something we're discussing. We're discussing about how this kind of messages, unadulterated messages, the messages of truth can get to the grassroots in Nigeria. And I'm just telling you now that I put your name, I called some other people that I know that are putting out messages that people need to know. And they were talking about how can we sponsor these people. It's not about sponsoring anybody or dashing Maiyegun money or anything, but how can we create all this kind of either internet to radio or all this kind of, you know, because we are all making an example of somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu could transmit a radio station that everybody in Igbo land can tune on to on their transistor radio, and they will hear it because everybody will be connected to the Temple of Truth by now. If they one have light, if two they have money to buy internet, to buy the data to listen to you, but they don't have those things. The messages you are selling, I mean you are preaching is amazing, but to most of us who have ability to listen to you, we already know most of these things. The ones that really need that are the ones that we are all brainstorming how we'll be able to get this message, even if they are recorded tapes, to get down to them.
Let me say this to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
There is going to be a time very soon that I'm actually going to speak directly to all of you here. And when I speak directly to all of you here, right, I'm going to call out for help. And I mean,
I'm your number one donor.
I know.
Number one is
Anthony. I have never doubted any of my own, sponsor and supporters on this platform. I have been one of the most blessed person on this internet.
Amen.
Sure, you get. I'm so lucky. I've been lucky, and I'm glad that I have all of you. Now, what I am working on is that it's been a while. So what I'm working on is where I'm going to have the MaiyegunsDiary studio right here in Glasgow, but it is going to be a production house. Now, I already have a diaspora radio which transmits online as we speak, but the reach and the audience that is supposed to be targeted, there is resources that have to be built into that. Sure, you get now. So before the end of the year, I have a place that I'm working on to get secured for myself, where I can be able to handle all of these platforms at a go and even have people work with me. So I want to assure you that a lot of people have said the same thing you've just said right now, right? That we need this message to even reach more people. They've suggested a lot. And we've all agreed that doing all of this as well is capital intensive. I have to be honest with you. It is. Capital intensive, especially if you have to hire other people to put them on retainer, retainership. You pay them and all of that stuff. So these are behind the scene, but without a very regular place where, at least, I want a place where you're going to stop just seeing me. We need where, people can walk into my studio. As I am speaking to you right now, I could have other audiences, I could have other guests.
A round
and
table
all those
conversation.
information, right? All those information need to be targeted at a certain audience. And I know how to do that. Sure, you get. I'm going to plead with you that don't worry. We are getting into 2024. We have what it takes. The moment I get a placement that the office space I'm seeking for is approved, the day I come here to ask for financial support to get my studio set up again, right? Just know that what you are wishing, what you just suggested, is about to happen.
Perfect.
I'm going to do it.
That will be my happiest day. That will be my happiest day. Then one other final thing I want to quickly say is this, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
You see, I sat down and thought about a lot of things. There are so many things our Nigerians in diaspora are doing. People are writing like our mom that just got off the phone with you.
There,
she was talking. Our lady in Germany. She was talking about that she wished there was something she could do to communicate to German government that this man who was talking to you guys is talking crap, blah blah. There's a lot that can be done. If she can, people can help her. All these leaders have Twitter handle, they have Facebook handles. What people are doing in the US now is that they are writing consistently to all these leaders, all these political parties like the Republicans and the Democrats, all the contestants, and giving them update every day about the man that is pretending to be our president in Nigeria.
And I have to say
a
big thank you to them, because I am aware of what you are just saying. There are people in the US, God knows how many thousands of those messages have been sent to almost every known political leaders in America, including those who are working in the United Nations in America. If they are all very honest to tell the world the number of letters, petitions that they have received since this druggie rigged himself in Nigeria, I mean, a lot of us will be shocked. Wow, a lot of that.
Yes, and not only that, I also made a suggestion on a Twitter platform saying that, look, we are not going to end up with, you see, everything, charity begins at home. It doesn't matter how we press the people that are outside Nigeria. Those are back home are also, they are our number one target. What about all the traditional chiefs, all the emirs, all the obas? Why can't we? I made this suggestion that why can't we in diaspora come together and prepare strongly worded letters to write to every chief, every king, every oba, every emir in Nigeria, telling them that every corner that, look, we are writing to you from the diaspora to let you know that silence is compromise, or whatever they say.
No, silence is they call it a compliance, Abi. It's like your
compliance, or you accept as yes. So you are a leader, you are a king or an oba or an emir, and your subjects are dying. You know what this government is doing. You know what the leaders, the so-called leaders in Nigeria are doing, and you are keeping quiet. People are coming. I remember Emir Sanusi of Kano, the one that was central bank governor before. He said that a woman came to see him in the palace with a sick child, and all they needed was 3,000 naira to cure that child. But because he was attending to people before he could get to this woman to help them, the child died in the woman's hands. So these are the people that the diasporans can package powerfully worded letter to every state, every local government, every chief, to tell them, like, look, you are accomplice to this thing happening to your own people. And the day this country explodes, the way it is gradually inching towards explosion, the history, we will publish all your names across the world to say that you are part of the reason why Nigeria is blowing up. You are part of the reason why your country and your children are dying. So let them keep those data and read it, go and sleep over it. And if they like, let them continue to keep quiet. So that I wanted to share with you.
God bless you. You have shared this. You have shared a lot, so much as well. And I have to be so personally appreciative of this. So thank you so much, at least for
thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Let's give other people chance to talk.
I've got just one more caller to go, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay.
But it's such a pleasure, Baba. Take it easy, okay?
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. So that was a brilliant one there from I have another caller anyway. So sometimes you let the cat out of the bag. I can't wait to tell you this. I got my caller. For a very long time, I have always had that dream. Not the dream of making so much money or becoming rich, having all of the no. I've always had, that dream of being part of something, a voice that is so powerful that the most powerful men are afraid of it, even though they have almost everything that they could use to silence the voice. But the voice is so powerful, so strong. It's a community voice that despite all of their power and wealth, they will be very afraid of it. So I gave birth to MaiyegunsDiary, Politico. Even though I never get that voice they are afraid of yet, but I know I have the capacity. And I also have the people to make that dream come true. A platform, a voice that they will hear, no matter how powerful they are, president, governors, or whatever they call themselves. When they hear that name, Maiyegun is calling. Maiyegun is at the door. Maiyegun sent you an invite to come and explain yourself. They will tremble. They will be like, oh my God. Is that they run away and say, no, we can't face him. Or they all have to come and sit next to me, in front of my camera, my microphone, drag them out of their their prisons where they keep themselves as rich and powerful. Drag them in front of my camera. Why all of you will sit down there and see them for who they are? A very powerful platform of that of a citizen journalism. I can do it because I have the people who can make that happen there for me. And it is the biggest one. It is going to be something that will become a regular voice. You see, this is my voice. That so many of you are wishing that a lot of people hear them. I understand. It is going to be a voice that you are going to listen to in your radio, in your taxi, in your office, and every other places, right? Still in that Nigeria. And you know why? Because those who are ruining and destroying Nigeria, they are still very much active. They are not changing their minds. So the next few weeks or so, I kind of hope I'll get that space. It's going to be full time, like a double gun blazing platform when that happens. Just have it at the back of your mind. Since my last caller made me mention it, I have to tell you, it is almost here. Sorry, my caller. Can you hear me still?
Yes. Good evening,
So
Mr.
sorry
Maiyegun.
that I kept
How are you doing?
Sir. I'm very well. Oh. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great.
Lovely program.
Thank you.
You see, the problem, you see, the black man, right? Our problem is our ability, the lack of reasoning. There is something fundamentally wrong with the way we reason. And the value system of the black man is broken. By value system, right?
So,
how do you put, when you put freedom and you put money, how do you pick money over freedom? That like it's crazy. And we've gotten to the point where the truth, we hate the truth. When you tell your brother the truth that would set him free, they would want to kill the person or want to destroy the person. We've been so soaked into lies to the point where everybody's enjoying the lies. And all these have consequences, not just us, the remote generation. How are they going to read our history? We all sit here and complain about our ancestors. They did this, they sold us, which is the value system. They sold us for mirror, they did this. What are we doing to undo, or with the opportunity of life, what are we doing to correct the nonsense of the past? We are doing exactly what they did. The same habit you're seeing today was exactly what was happening in the past. This is exactly what we'll be doing. So today, you will see a black man, we feel we are righteous, we are better, we are God's chosen people. And if God should come to you, I will tell you, blacks are the first to hide. Because if God should see what we've done with Africa, we can't beat our chest and say, God will be proud of what we've done in Africa. Maiyegun, your spare time, watch Limitation Game. I think the name of the film is Imitation Game. It's about Alan Turing. There was something Alan Turing said in that movie. He said, it takes a machine to defeat a machine. Today, the black man thinks his salvation will come from anointing water, anointing oil. That's the level with our mentality.
Delusion of the grandeur.
Delusion. It takes a machine. Our Alan Turing, our Isaac Newtons are turning to prayer warriors back home. And people don't feel this is a problem. My brother, we have a long way to go. History books would remember you for your good works in trying to get the truth, because the truth is a more potent weapon than guns and bullets.
God bless
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love closing my program on that TED Talk like motivational speech there. I love it. So thank you, Baba. Okay, and you have a wonderful evening over there. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you very much, and to everyone else as well. Yomi Totu, I saw your super chat. Oh, sometimes I will be like, I'm gonna. Share this super chat, they work up, they work. But once in a while, I always see one of you who are kind of always want to test it out too. $5, $10, $20, £20, and all that. Your generosity in trying to check if some tools are working on my program are indeed legendary. So I'm so grateful for you. For that. So to everyone else who joined this broadcast at midway, listen, you will need to watch it from the start, okay? And if you are the type who don't really like too much music and paparazzi and all that, just fast forward it for like 8 minutes. The rest contains everything we discussed tonight, okay? And then you can also watch the replay of this broadcast from tomorrow. And don't miss it again tomorrow. And a reminder, a quick one. When you don't want to miss MaiyegunsDiary broadcast, okay? 8 p.m. is when my broadcast starts. 8 p.m. UK time is 9 p.m. Nigeria time. And if you are Nigerian watching me from any part of the world, just check what time is it 9 p.m. in Nigeria. What is 9 p.m. in Nigeria means to your own time. Excuse me, to your own time. That's the first one. The second one is that I usually have a replay. This broadcast is going to be replayed from 4 p.m. tomorrow, UK time. And by 7 p.m. or so, it's going to end. And around 7 p.m. and half 7, if Maiyegun is going to go live, you would have seen the signal. The stage is already set. It's going to show that what is coming up. And you may not be able to see all of this if you don't subscribe to my channel, okay? Please do, and set your notification. I am going to see you some other time, okay? Until then, just take it easy. And please, when you know the truth, stop searching for lies. And they call that alternative truth. There's no alternative to truth. Truth is truth. Lie is lie. You can't manufacture truth. You will only be manufacturing lie to try to cover truth. And that won't last. And to those of you who have now known better, they say something. They say, if you know better, you should do better. Come on. How could you know all of this? And you are still saying you are confused. You don't know where Nigeria is going. You don't know what to do. You can't be serious. Go and think about it. I will see everyone some other time, okay? Stay safe and take it easy. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary ayé mi nàmbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.